Galing, galing. Yeah.
Yes. And for the duration of the ECQ last year, Globe gave free unlimited call and text to the UP Diliman
Wow.
Psy- Psychosocial Services.
Plus
Grabe
scope.
talaga.
Oh, your
Amazing.
advocacy in Caritas Philippines, Ale Kappa schools.
Opo.
You know that Globe gave 515 demo phones. Yung mga
Wow.
demo phones,
Yeah.
they gave it to the students.
Students.
515 phones. Oh, for
Grabe
the
naman.
Wow.
yeah. So kasi 'di ba even though majority ng mga estudyante kasi ang kanilang pag-aaral ngayon is yung pang module pa rin, yung printed modules.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pero from time to time, kailangan nila mag-consult sa teacher, mag-text or
Yeah, so
mag-Viber.
that's why they gave
That's where
the
they
phones to
got
them.
their
Yeah.
free demo phone. No? So at
Wow.
least,
Wow. Ang galing.
so they're really been very, very helpful sa, even do sa ating, sa Alay Kapwa Caritas in community schools natin. No? Galing, galing nila. Very, very helpful, di ba? So, and on Tuesday is International Teachers Day. You know that?
Internet. I did
And
not know
Tuesday.
that.
October 5. Every
I
year is October 5.
Oh, I miss going to school, father.
I, I miss
Grabe.
I miss
I
Teachers
miss
Day. That was always. Did we ever? No, no, no. I always thought that we'd always have a day off on Teachers Day, but I don't think so. I think no, we'd go to school, but we'd celebrate it. Like we'd usually like get the teachers gifts and food and stuff.
Sa
So
Teachers
yeah,
Day naman namin, Kobe, mag-off yung mga teacher namin, kami yung maging teacher. Dalawa
oh,
kami. Yeah, two sa klase namin, kuha ka ng partner and then meron lang teacher na mag-consult sa inyo. Pero kayo yung maging teacher for the whole week. Pero sa amin, kay Teachers Day, 1 week kami maging teacher. Ang saya nun,
pa,
Kobe.
Ay, si ano
paano
pala, si Ray Mark. Si Ray Mark is a teacher. Hi,
Yeah,
Piper.
yeah, yeah.
paano hindi mo alam yung subject or
Kobe, dapat ka magaling sa subject. Kasi mag-try out kayo. So, yung subject namin, pero hindi dapat sa high school, yung subject namin ay yung ginawa kong math. Pero magturo kayo sa grade 1 to 6 lang ata. Yung wala grade
ah,
12. Yeah, ang saya nun, Kobe. What a good experience din.
that's
So,
so
Si,
cool.
si Ray Mark is palang special education
Yeah,
teacher.
he is.
yes, yes.
I nakita ko sa story mo, Kuya Raymark, yung
That's why he supports then Cope Autism, no?
yeah,
Yeah.
he does. I think I see on his stories sa IG all the time him teaching his students.
Oo.
Nice.
Yeah,
So nice.
but
So,
but yeah, to be honest, I think one of the most important things that will help many people cope with mental health problems and anxiety this pandemic is staying connected with our friends and our loved ones. So, guys, what are the Chico Fads? How are the
For
ways
me,
you
for me,
stay
I
connected
agree.
with your family and friends during this pandemic that
Yeah,
we're
I
having?
agree with you, Kobe. It will surely help a lot to stay connected with your friends, with your loved ones, most especially your family during this pandemic. And we're so happy that Globe is making it easier for us to stay connected and with their affordable and solid plans. So just like Globe's prepaid newest Go Plus 99 offer, where you can now enjoy 16 gig in total, made up of 8 gig for all sites and another 8 gig for all apps you love, and it's only for 99 pesos, and hindi lang dyan nagtapos. It's not just in the 16 gig, it's all the way sa unlimited Texas to all networks. Grabe. That's so sulit na for me. And I think actually sobrang daming options to choose from with Go Plus 99, and it depends on what you're interested in. So if you like binge watching like me, there's Go Watch for YouTube, Netflix, Vio, I Want TFC, HBO Go, NBA, WeTV, and G Movies. And meron din tayong Go Play for gaming apps. Like for the gamers out there, don't worry, meron tayong Go Play, and para sa mga estudyante din natin, meron tayong Go Learn.
Oh my, go learn.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot.
No.
And
what
hindi lang
what is
din.
go learn? What is go learn?
Go Learn, it's all part lang sa in this. Ang dami talaga, father, eh. There's also for
I,
work at home.
I
We
think
have Go
yeah.
Work for productivity apps like Zoom, Facebook, Meeting Room, Yahoo Mail, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Viber, and Telegram.
Yeah,
And yes,
Microsoft Teams, that's actually the one that I used to call my dad. Kasi sa
oh,
Dubai,
really?
there's no like all if you want to use like what say you want to use like WhatsApp or any other app, say Viber, I can't call my dad on there because it's blocked. So that we use this
Oh,
Microsoft Teams thing.
Yeah,
Ang
yeah.
hirap. Like you
really?
have to like set up a meeting and everything. It's actually for business meetings, pero that's what we used to call each other.
Wala silang social media.
They have naman, father, but it's just like you have to get like a VPN.
Yeah, yeah. I heard about
Yeah.
VPNs. But
Ano,
grabe, sobrang strict, Kobe, no?
Yeah.
twice we uh before way before COVID, 2 years before, 2 Decembers before COVID. Twice na yon eh. We coming home when I would take a trip. Coming home, ang aking layover is Shanghai.
Yeah,
So
and
that,
they don't you need a
no,
VPN there for it's blocked there, diba? Like
everything is blocked.
everything.
Even walang
Wow.
email, nothing, no signal whatsoever.
What
So,
why is that? Why is that, father? I never knew like why they've though because
well,
don't they have their like own social media like they have their own
yeah,
social media
internal.
apps
So
there and everything.
In
they
China.
control, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, China is still a communist state, di ba?
Yeah.
So we will ano. So but I think also, 'di ba, mahalaga rin kasi, and this is one of the things that TJ will discuss. Um Connectivity is very important for mental health, 'di ba?
Mm.
Super.
But I guess the other thing then is anong klaseng connectivity, 'di ba? Kasi posible rin na maging very toxic, 'di ba, yung connectivity, especially ngayon, 'di ba? Sa social
So
media,
social media.
meron kang issue of cyberbullying, 'di ba?
Yeah.
May marami kang issue na ganoon, 'di ba? In fact, siguro one time we can talk to also Gail. Gail, you remember Gail?
Yeah.
Yes.
'Di ba Gail was bullied, 'di ba? Na-bully si Gail. So I think, it's also may plus and minus din, 'di ba? Parang blessing and curse, 'di ba? In terms of
Yeah.
There's pros and cons,
yeah.
father. Yeah, like I said, I think I told you guys recently naman na I've been out sa social media na for weeks. I just, post and leave. Pero it's really helpful din. It's a good platform to become an example, to become a voice din. And
Mm.
I want to use it for the good one.
Yeah.
Too much of it. I think I remembered Kobe. I think you said I think we agreed on one thing one time inside PPP. Too much of everything is not good.
Yeah.
Right?
I
That
think
just everything is not.
ako ako din minsan nag-break ako sa social media like I need it sometimes just to I want to use it for the good naman pero there's just sometimes where I need that time for myself to reflect and I don't want to be on it. It really helps me when I take a break off social media. Um but like you said, Chico, I think if you're gonna use social media, you should, especially us being influencers, let's use it in the right way.
Yeah.
Let's use it in a way where we can inspire people, where we can spread love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spread love, positivity, inspire.
yeah,
It's a really good platform nowadays, especially ngayon, Father, 'di ba? Na everything is virtual, right, Father?
Yeah, lahat virtual, lahat na ng
Online.
yeah.
talaga, even
Gusto, gusto ko ang post ni father. Yung
Mga
there
posting father, it's all
seryoso.
yeah,
It's prayers and
yeah.
everything. So I'm reading them sometimes. What I see them on my feed all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
You know, like everything talaga is virtual eh, 'di ba? And the thing is ano, uh, it's a blessing kasi nga 'di ba? Like for example, dapat Thursday we had the whole day planning for the Diocese of Novaliches, ano? Buong araw dapat siya hanggang 6 o'clock hanggang gabi, no?
Yeah.
Noon, last minute, decide nila too dangerous that we will be together. Will be around 30, 20 planning eh.
Oh,
Planning
this was in per,
in Quezon City, in Novaliches.
in face to face father.
Face to face
Oh,
dapat
okay.
originally, but
Yeah.
2 days before they decided um not ano anymore, not face to face, Zoom na lang. Okay, that was
Yeah.
Thursday. And then Friday, no, Saturday, uh the one who was chairing the meeting tested positive for COVID.
Oh no.
So imagine if you all went to the meeting, whole day kami magkakasama. So by now will
iso-
be
Isolated.
quarantine.
Yeah.
isolate.
You know, the other, alam mo yung isang bagay din kasi is, syempre kawawa yung nako-COVID, di ba? Kawawa talaga, di ba? Pero at the
Yeah.
same time, ang laking, no, ang laki rin problem kasi everybody has to quarantine for 14 days, di ba?
Yeah.
Kami, kami na-quarantine kami for 14 days. My driver tested positive for COVID.
Wow.
For 14 days, we were all quarantined. 17 of us, 17 kami. Sa house,
So,
tsaka
so wow.
yeah, quarantine
Dami.
kami.
Grabe naman.
So, it's a real challenge, no?
Yeah.
So,
Kasi even if you can be a carrier daw eh. Kahit ano eh. You can be a carrier, like you get vax, you can still be a carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there,
Hindi
but Kobe, your mom is telling you to tell me
Tell
about.
father about my I don't know if I want to say it here. Should I say it here?
No, Kobe, no.
No, it was. It's not about anyone. It's about something I saw.
Yeah, no, tonight we'll
Yeah,
do that.
tonight.
We'll do that tonight.
And again, so yeah, and also hindi doon pa rin nagtapos, Father. Grabe, me and Kobe were into Kobe's into K-dramas din. Meron din tayong Go Korean. And if
Squid
you're,
Game.
yeah, and if you're into music like Kobe, meron tayong Go Listen. And other things like Go Shop, Go Ride, Go Pinoy, and Go Anime. Grabe, ang dami-dami talaga.
Ano siya talaga, talagang, yung tawag dito, grabe yung content, di ba? Their content is so
Yeah.
punong-puno.
And guys, if you don't know how to subscribe, the way to subscribe to Go 99, you can do it via three options, using the Globe One app, via Gcash app, or by dialing. How do you say that? Yung dot one. I don't. What do you call that?
I don't know, the thing. I don't know, the thing.
Yung
Ano yung thing?
yung ding yung. Wait, let me chat it. Yung ano. I don't know what this. Yung dot
Actors.
143 hashtag on your there on
Yeah.
your mobile phone.
Yes.
There, it's easy as that, guys.
Na-try mo na, Kobe? Na-try mo na yan?
I'm actually Globe, so that's what I do that all the time. I use Go 99. Yeah.
Okay.
I use that since ever hangit ngayon, Father eh. Yung 99. Sobrang sulit kasi 1 week na. And then,
Yeah.
di ba meron namang wifi dito. So and we rarely go out. Especially nowadays na kailangan talaga sa mga lock-in taping. So, ayan, puro lang, puro Go 99 or yung for, ano yun?
Go plus. I did go
Ano yun?
99 or
Go, go
go
plus,
go plus 50.
yeah, Go plus 50 or
Uh,
Go plus 90.
yeah.
Sobrang
Now,
sulit. Sobrang
yeah.
sulit talaga. Yan, Go
Go
Surf.
surf, go
Yan,
surf
Jasmine,
50.
Go Surf.
Now, but personally, we love GoShare, which is applicable for social media apps including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Kumu, Snapchat, and House Party. Kasi yung House Party. Kasi with these social apps, we can stay connected to our loved ones and families. Pwede mong silang kumustahan anytime. Just one DM, one post, one story. Sobrang sulit, diba, guys? Grabe.
Talking
But
about house. Oh, sorry.
and you can easily watch We the Youth on Kumu or stay connected with us on Instagram.
Yes. And talking
So
about house
much.
party, Kobe, it's your birthday na in couple of weeks.
Talking about
Ay!
wow,
Kasi
galing
we
mo
always
ah.
have this plan kasi father, we're gonna do a pantry, you know?
I wa-
Pero sobrang hirap ngayon, Kobe, no?
it's so hard,
Sobrang
dude,
hirap.
especially lalo na kasi may
May
also kasi
pandemic.
may naka-quarantine na ako, so
Mhm.
hirap.
Sobrang hirap.
Na-quarantine ka na?
Opo.
Okay. So,
Sobrang
kailan
hirap
ano mo?
ngayon, father.
Kailan
Sorry po.
nag-start? Kailan start ang quarantine mo?
Um, mga, I think like 5 days ago or something. Yeah, 5 or 4 days ago.
Nag-start ka na. Nag-start na.
Yeah, I've started already, father. So I've just been at home, lang.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
just been hanging out sa kwarto ko. Um, ano, hanging out in the room. Writing some stuff. You know,
just live doing
just
our work.
live ako minsan. Will
Just
you
doing our
celebrate it, ba? Opo, I'll celebrate it naman sa bahay ko lang.
Oh, sayang kasi sabi ni Kobe sana father kapag birthday niya, he's gonna take me to
Kasi
this
dapat, di ba,
Spanish
invited tayo.
Spanish restaurant.
I wanted to go. I want to go out so bad, but
Ah, quarantine din,
naka-quarantine
diba?
na ako, guys.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
Sige lang.
Then,
Next.
Sige lang.
kailan magbabubble ba kayo? Magbabubble?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited for you, Chico.
Quarantine. So Kobe, I think father, you mentioned Reese is advocate for mental health, diba, father?
Yeah, no, Reese then is supposed to, we're supposed to guest him actually eh. Kaya lang, yung schedule lang niya because of their, di ba meron na silang mga shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Schedule, mahirap lang yung schedule ni Reese. But dapat mag-guest siya sa atin eh. Kasi, well, it's known naman, ano, but he will tell you the story um, more details. Sa kanya kasi what he wants to tell people is it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to
Yeah.
ask for help. Diba? So kasi yun yung kanyang naging experience, di ba? So
That's one thing na excite ako ngayon father is that our guest right now. I'm
no,
just so
Yeah.
excited talking about mental health. I mean,
I have no. I really have a lot of
the
questions about
questions.
this. Yeah, I wrote it down.
TJ is in standby na.
Oh,
yeah,
Cheeks,
yeah,
you can open the.
Okay, so
yeah. I think he's in
siguro
standby.
background lang on TJ. TJ is one of the anchors of ABS ANC, and his main beat, so to speak, is sports, no? And then around I think 2 years ago, before the pandemic, so mga almost 3 years ago maybe, he was moved to the US with TFC, the Filipino channel. So
Mhm.
he is the bureau chief of North America. No, he's the chief for news in North America. So he's been living in San Francisco with his family and still working with ABS, the Filipino channel. No, and
Ah.
si TJ is also an athlete. No, so he's
Wow.
also an athlete, and then he was in Ateneo for high school, up to high school, and then went to La Salle for college. No, and while he was as in the high school and in college, he was a varsity player. No, he played for the Ateneo varsity team in high school, and then also for La Salle. No, but it was around early part of college that he started to address his mental health issues, which he will
Hmm.
share with you. No,
Did
so yeah,
did you know him back then, father, when he was in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ateneo?
yeah.
What
So
was his sport, father?
basketball,
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Wow.
basketball, yeah. And I think I'm not sure if he also played football, but I'm sure of basketball. Basketball, I'm very sure. Of course,
Hmm.
his mother is the the beauty queen.
His
Yeah,
mother's the.
Aurora P1. Yeah, Miss International, I think. Si Aurora P1.
Wow.
I had no
So
idea.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
He
don't know.
played football too. 1 year in high school though.
there football too. So
Wow.
Mang Tomas, is Aurora P1 Miss International or Miss Universe?
Wow. I never knew, father.
No, she was one of the big beauty queens before.
Mm.
So that's TJ, and he also advocates excited. So we're very happy that he joined us because what time is it now where he is? So that's around
Son.
11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
11 o'clock in the evening in San Francisco, in the West Coast. No, and then really has a very very interesting story of his journey. No, I mean going through the mental health issues. And he came out with a video actually. While he was still here in Manila, he came out with a video sharing his experience. No? That's why after he did that, maraming tao na nagkwento na about their mental health issues. No? And very much kagaya ni Riz, yung message is it's okay to ask for help, diba? It's okay to seek help. There's nothing walang nakakahiya sa asking for help, diba, in terms of mental health issues.
Father, talking
So,
about the video, is this the one sa nasa YouTube that went viral?
I
Or
think
iba?
so. I think that must have been the one, no. Oo.
Mm.
So, magaling, galing nung and it was talagang very well done, very well done. It was kumbaga talagang produced very well, di ba? Very,
I see. Wow. So, grabe, no?
um
That's
I have a lot of questions
yeah,
here for
is
him.
he here na ba?
uh,
I did see him din eh.
maybe we can check. We can check with our team.
Yeah. But yeah, he's in San Francisco right now, father, right? Sakto
Yeah,
ba?
yeah.
Thank you, Rocks the World, Angelica,
The name of
Angelita Aquino. I think is that him, Mang Tomas
Is
77.
yeah,
that
that's
him?
that's there,
That's
there.
him. That's him.
That's it.
I
Chico,
love his
Chico.
username.
Well, Chico, you're the host. Chico, why
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you
wait. I
follow?
didn't know yan yung pangalan niya.
I had no idea.
Yeah, kasi Mang Tomas.
That's right. Tomas is TJ, di ba? There he
Yes,
is.
Hi,
that's me.
TJ.
Hi, po.
You're
Hi,
But
Sir
there he knows
TJ.
that he
PJ.
plays football. TJ,
Akala ko
TJ,
like isa ka sa,
these
kasi
two,
you
these
said,
two
di
young
ba,
men
about the
here,
one-year football?
these two young men here, Chico and Kobe, are
Hi
Hi, po.
guys.
football players. They're both varsity football players.
Opo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I played
yeah.
football first year high school.
Oh,
Actually, sorry, grade school until first year high school. I even went to the Gothia Cup when I was in grade 7.
Oh, Gothia,
Sorry, grade
Sweden.
6. Yeah, yeah, and then I still played in grade 7 with Makati Football School, and then Ateneo High School, first year high school. That's what freaked me out when I saw high school quality football because I was playing goalkeeper.
yeah,
And
Wow.
the goalkeeper and the aspirants, so I was in the aspirants team, which is first year,
Yeah.
second year.
yeah.
And the second year goalkeeper, who was the starting keeper at the time, and I saw also the fourth year goalkeeper who was Rayleigh Agustin, Father Tito. Of course, you know him very well. I'm
Oh,
like,
oh
you
wow.
have you have to
Imagine that.
dive
The
into front of people's
goalkeeper.
feet. Yeah, I'm sorry, because I could see. I'm like, you have to put your face in front of people's feet. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I was fine with a kiddie level of goalkeeping, so I kind of retired from soccer, and then I went to basketball because I got too scared of the physicality of goalkeeping at the higher level.
Yeah.
But then I resumed my football career with the Father Tito, with the alumni league, with the Ateneo
Ah, yeah, yeah,
football
okay.
league,
Wow.
because it's kind of
Wow.
chill. So mas okay.
Kasi,
Let's play sometime.
ano naman, PJ, kung ang standard mo si Relly, talagang medyo nakakaano yun, di ba?
Precisely, he doesn't care about his
Nakaka-stress.
face. Yeah, so he's like all over the face. He's all over the place.
Di ba? So, Tej, why don't, I think the young men they have so many questions.
Yeah.
You want to tell your story or you want them to ask questions?
Ask away, ask away. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Go, Kobie.
TJ. Kasi
uh,
father was mentioning about the video. I think there was a video that was released that tell all that went
Mm-hmm.
viral on YouTube.
Yep.
Pero
Well, the
para sa
name of
mga
the video is. Sorry. Go ahead. You were saying
yeah,
finish.
oh, sorry,
Yeah. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Para sa mga taong hindi pa nakapanood, can you share
Mhm.
with us what drove you to anxiety and depression?
Okay, well, so the video is called "You Will Be All Right." That's the title of the video. If you go to YouTube or Facebook and you type that with my name, "You Will Be All Right," TJ Manato, you'll find it. But looking back and understanding my journey back then, what really triggered my first episodes of anxiety and eventually depression was a lot of stress. That came all at the same time. One of which, I think the biggest of which was transitioning to Ateneo High School because the academic demands are really tougher than where I came from. I came from a Montessori school, which was actually Maria Montessori. And this, the academic rigors are very lax. Medyo mas relax siya, no? So pagpasok ko sa Ateneo, sabi ko, ganito pala kahirap ang Jesuit school. Okay?
Tawa,
Grabe yung
ang tawa
demands.
mo, Pods. Ang tawa
Si
mo.
Father, alam na alam eh. So, actually, yung first quarter ko pa lang, gusto kong baliktarin yung report card ko para maging line of 9 lahat. Kasi karamihan, line of 6. So, kung binilitan ko, magiging line of 9. So, it was really tough and I barely survived first year high school alone. I had to take summer classes for math just to be accepted to second year. And so during that summer, I had a long talk with my mom at the time, and she was like, you have to really take this much more seriously. You have to take your academics, as your first priority and all this and that. So which I did. So I made that mental decision. Okay, I'm gonna really be a studious guy. I'm gonna stop fooling around with my friends. I'm gonna limit my basketball, limit my time out of the house. And so that's what I did. I
Or
no
the,
school, hardly watch any TV. Is my audio cutting off? Is it
Yeah,
okay?
it
it
cut
cut
off.
off for like
you're
2
back. You're
seconds.
fine.
Yeah, for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you know what? Probably safer. I'll take off my AirPods. So
Okay.
there you go. Because it happens once in a while. So
Yeah.
that's a phone. Anyway, so yeah, so the first 2 weeks of second year high school, I just focused on academics, purely that. No, no TV even, not much time with my friends, not much time playing in basketball, and then after that, literally after within the second week, I started to feel my first insomnia attack. As in, I couldn't sleep a wink at night, and then it just kept on building up the next few days, and I was even getting more anxious and stressed within the school day. And then that's when I told my mom something's wrong, something's not right. And so we asked around, finally got some help, and they figured out that I was going through an episode of anxiety attacks. And then eventually throughout. the years that I went through therapy with what we were trying to figure out what was going on, halo-halo pala. So other parts of it was that I was going through my adolescence. I was 13, going on 14, yearning for a father figure. And my parents were separated when I was 3 years old. So actually, the separation kind of hit me at that time. You didn't,
Mm.
when I was 3, you're oblivious to it, diba? So when you're a teenager, you're yearning for a father figure, dun ka naghahanap. So that was another emotional stress in my subconscious that was hitting in. Plus, hereditarily, meron din kaming family members who have had mental health issues in their family too. So kumbaga, susceptible din kami. So all of that put together really led me to that point that those triggers triggered episodes of anxiety attacks and depression. So that's what happened, and it took quite the journey to figure
Mhm.
things out, to figure out how to get better, and then we can discuss. I mean, I can go on and on, but so that's to just answer the first question because I know you got other questions. Go ahead.
What were your biggest like learnings in your journey of healing, though?
You
Sir
know,
TJ.
the first one, the first person that I met that really helped me a lot for two things. One was just to see him and look up to him. Was Max Ricketts. So for those who are probably close to my age or Father Tito's age, the last name rings a bell because his son is
Max.
Ronnie Ricketts. So Max Ricketts is the dad of Ronnie Ricketts, the action star in the 90s. Okay, and Tito Max, I was told back then, he was a survivor of manic depression and bipolar, and he was doing much better in his life in his 50s and 60s at the time. And he wanted to share his experiences of getting well to other people, And I met him. He was giving free group counseling in a church in Makati. And when I saw him, I literally saw him, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's alive. And he went through worse than me. Because remember, I got my anxiety and depression 1991. So guys, wala pang internet noon, wala pang globe, wala
Mm.
pang, wala YouTube.
Yeah.
There's no way to research these things, right? So not unless you go into the library and look up psychiatry books, the knowledge of anxiety or depression or mental health challenges were so rare. So
Saka
when I
Tej,
saw,
Tej. Tej,
yes,
tabu pa nun, tabu.
saka
Hindi
tabu,
lang
major
rare,
tabu.
tabu talaga,
If
di
you
ba?
had it, you don't talk about it, di ba?
Re-
So I met this guy. He was open to talk about it. I'm like, wow, he's alive. And so first things first, he gave me hope. I said, wow, this guy's alive. He's well. So that gave me inspiration na kaya ko to. Kung kaya niya, kaya ko to. The second thing is the impact he had on me was he taught me the very first most important lesson that became a foundation of my journey of getting better and getting well. He taught me the power of acceptance. And when
Mm.
you think about it, bakit importante yung acceptance? Kasi when these things happen to you, all the anxiety, the stress, the depression, and which are triggered by real life social problems, whether it's your family, your relationship, or school or whatever, the tendency is to point outwards and to
Mm.
blame. Sige ganyan, my parents kasi separated, my school so hard, sige ganyan. And then, when blame comes, there's anger. Diba? So, it compounds the situation. But his point was, those things that you're pointing at, you can't control them, right? Your school, you can't control the situation in your school, how hard it is. You can't control your parents, whether they separate or not. So there are things in your life outside of you that you can't control, and you have to accept. Add to that, I had a condition that I can't just take out. I can't just pop a pill and it will cure me. I had to
Yeah.
accept that it's going to be part of my life and that I would have to learn to do things to make myself healthier and better. So that was the key first step to learn to accept it, accept myself, and accept the situation I was in, and it's easier said than done. So he taught me a mental trick that a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists have been trying to teach the world since I think the 1960s, 1970s. It's called the power of affirmations. You may come across a term of positive affirmations, good affirmations, but this is real science. Wherein if you repeatedly tell yourself phrases, it embeds into your subconscious. Parang ka nagko-coding, pero
Yeah.
kinocode mo yung utak mo. Okay? Kinocode mo yung deep, deep subconscious mo. And then, simple lang. What he taught me to say, I accept myself. And I literally had to write that down on a piece of paper 10 times, parang jug, Father Tito. Parang jug. I accept myself, okay? And I had to say it in the mirror 10 times in my head, and I say it in the mirror 10 times out loud with a smile. And so that was my mental vitamin 3 times a day until it starts to really dig into my subconscious that I accept myself. I accept where I am. And eventually, the realization I had was, and the analogy I can give to people, the power of acceptance is, imagine if you're driving a car and you have a flat tire. Do you think you can continue to drive that car continuously on your journey and ignore the flat tire? Hindi, di
Mm.
ba? I mean, masisiraan ka, it's not gonna perform the best level, whatever. But it will take physically you to get out of the car, look at it from that perspective and say, oh, look, it's flat. I know it's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna have to fix it. So then the effort of changing the tire, fixing it, putting the new one in, and then it's a spare tire, you get back in your car. Now you have four good tires, but it's a spare tire. So it's not gonna be as perfect as it was before, but it's going to be better because you accepted the situation, you did something about it. So for me, that's the analogy I give about the critical importance of accepting something that has changed your life
Yeah.
drastically. Because if you're in denial, you're in just about anger and blame,
Yeah.
it's so difficult to get past the first step. So for me, Kobe, that was a great question. What was one of the more powerful lessons I learned? For me, power of acceptance is so key. And nowadays, I'm finding out there are people who've written books about these things. There's a book actually called Radical Acceptance. Imagine that. There's so much research just on the concept of acceptance and
Yeah.
how powerful it can be to give you peace in your life, to have more love and abundance in your life and all of that, all the good, great things. So it's such a simple word, but it means so much if it's deep down into your persona, acceptance. Yeah.
I
Nakaka-teach
like that.
daily discipline, eh, no? It's a daily
Yes.
discipline.
Could I, how come, like you just said before, Father, like back then, how come you would not talk about it, like your mental health problems or anything with that? You
Oh,
just
you
Well,
said
mean
something. Can you? Yeah.
well, it's a cultural thing. I mean,
yeah.
it's a Filipino cultural thing na nakakahiya. Yung family, typically they don't want to tell others kasi nakakahiya.
Yeah.
Other people might look down on your family or whatnot. Um, yeah, unfortunately, that's how it has. I don't know who's to blame for that from centuries ago
Yeah.
when those
Ah, it's very
families are
strongly
trying.
cultural, teach, eh, no? Very
Yeah,
cultural.
I
exactly.
never
So,
knew
but
that.
but we're thankfully through the years we've been breaking that taboo. More and more advocates are coming out, talking about it, making it, normalizing it, and the
Yeah.
key is that we talk about it as if it were a physical ailment. We talk about
Mm.
physical
Yeah.
ailments. We talk
Yeah.
about people who have diabetes, they have cancer or whatnot, and
Yeah.
it's discussed, and we help them, we support them. Why not talk about mental conditions also, diba? So that it becomes a normal conversation, and then we can be more accepted, and that alone lessens the stress on people going through it. That alone, when they know that they're going to be accepted by society and they won't be looked down upon, that will help so much more.
Yeah.
So that's why
Mm.
advocates like me, Father Tito, and other mental wellness advocates, we keep pushing to normalize this conversation. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
right now we're here with Gumu and FYE and Globe. Thank you for making this an important conversation. The more we do this, it's easier to talk
Correct.
about it.
Yeah.
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 And you had to deal with this since you had to the acceptance and everything teach was ever since high school pa.
Yes. So I mean that
Wow.
journey. I mean the most difficult stretch was about 5 6 years. So throughout high school until first year college was a up and
Amazing.
down. I had up and down stretches. I had good times, with my
Yeah.
friends, with playing varsity basketball and whatnot. But the lows were low. And then the worst was, if you see the video, and I wasn't ashamed to share it. We were very, as Father Tito said, we produced it very well. We graphically did reenactments that I actually had to be admitted to the hospital. I was admitted to what they call there was a term for that lower level of Makati Med back then called the basement. And that was
Basement.
yeah. So I was there
And
overnight.
generally teach in the major hospitals. when they say we have to confine him in the basement, it means mental issues,
Correct.
mental
Mentally.
health issues.
Yeah. But there's a long, it's a wide range. So there are people there who are really going through major psychosis, schizophrenia, and whatnot. No? So there's a vast
Yeah.
range of mental health issues. No? And then I was there for my, major depression, and I went through a bit of psychosis as well. So they knocked me out with some sleeping pills for the first time because I was never on
Yeah.
long term medication. And that zonked me out for like 24 hours. And when I woke up the next day, I was in a normal room. But, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to show the world that that's sometimes how drastic the help is needed, right? Sometimes you have to really reach out and get that kind of help and support. And so, yeah, that's what happened to me back then.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, Tej, Kobie is the direct grandson of Tiny Literal.
Oh,
If you
wow.
know
Yeah.
Wow.
the,
Wow.
the
Wow.
Hall of
Wow.
Famer, Tiny Literal. His
Awesome.
mom is
Awesome.
the daughter of Tiny Literal.
Galing.
Yeah.
So any more questions, guys?
Yeah, Father, this question, because we, kasi I've always thought about this is, if I have a friend who's depressed or suicidal, because we never know kasi TJ,
Mhm.
like, what is the right thing to do to comfort them or help them or let them, let them open up, kasi most, what I hear na lang sa iba is like, sayang sinabi ko sana, sayang I was there for that person.
Mhm.
Like, how can they open up? How can we help them?
Well, the first thing is you're there. You assure them you're there to listen, and
Mhm.
just listen with empathy and compassion, not to judge, not to try to solve their problems either. Like for example, sometimes people, friends might reach out and say, "I'm really going through this major, issue. I'm so depressed. I'm so this and that with because of my boyfriend." And then sometimes that other friend will say, "Oh, kasi ganyan." They'll blame them pa.
Yeah.
Um, ang tawag ng mga experts, they're trivializing what they're going through. Parang you have to honor that what they're feeling and going through is real, and that it matters. That their sentiments and their emotions matter. We're not trained professionals. We're not there to solve it. But believe me, as someone who went through it, if I have a friend who will listen to me, just be there for me, just to listen to me and
Yeah.
be compassionate and be there for me, that is huge, huge help right there. Now, if you do sense that a friend of yours is suicidal or wants to hurt themselves and has said it, posted about it, or written about it in social media or in a diary or whatnot, don't take it for granted. Don't take it as a joke only. And seek out some kind of intervention, whether it's if you're in school, maybe a guidance counselor, maybe a homeroom teacher. If you do know the family, maybe their parents. Because we've heard too many stories of regret that
Yeah.
there were telltale signs, there were literal signs
Yeah.
that some person had said that they want to hurt themselves and it was too late, no? So we don't want those things to happen anymore. And in the moment that there are words like that, reach out for more support. But the key, as I said, the first step is to be there, to listen, and be compassionate with empathy, not to judge, not to try to problem solve, but just listen and let them know that you're there to support
I think, Teach, I think your advice na not to judge, not to solve the problem is very important because people going through mental health issues, especially when you get to that level of your suicidal, um, it's. I think the most important really is just to be there, that they know
Yeah.
someone is there for them.
them. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, even now,
No
sometimes
judgment, no
other people
nothing.
I do. Yeah, I mean, now I still have some friends, people, acquaintances, who call me up and they're really having a difficult time, and I just listen. And they talk to
Yeah.
me, I listen, and then after we talk, they're like, "Hey, you know what? Just you letting me talk helped so much."
Yeah.
Because they were saying like I didn't know who else to call. She's like, a friend of mine said, I know you went through this, and I know you're open to listen to this, and you won't judge me for this." And true enough, so we had a long chat, and she said, "You know what? You've helped me so much just by listening." And the power, the power of listening with 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 that intentional, empathy and compassion is very powerful. It can
Yeah,
be, it
yeah.
can even be healing for a certain level for people going through major issues.
Yeah.
But wait, Tej, what do you think are some of like the warning signs of a mental illness? Well, like early signs. Oh,
Sorry, you got choppy a bit.
did I say? Um, wait, Tej, what do you think are some of the warning signs of mental illness, or like early signs that you might have something?
Well, what the experts will always say typically is, if the depression extends to more than 2 weeks. Okay, if
Yeah,
it's nonstop for 2 weeks, then it's a telltale sign that this could be, something really serious and clinical depression already, more than just being sad because you had a fight with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or you had a
yeah,
fight with your parents, whatnot. So that's sign number one. If it's really long, like more than 2 weeks, other typical signs are, erratic changes in behavior, erratic changes in sleep patterns, erratic changes in sometimes even academic performance and
yeah,
appetite, things like that, and energy as well. No, so those are the telltale signs. But it's not always that. I mean, we've heard of people who had kids who seemed perfectly normal all throughout, and
yeah,
then they didn't realize there was something going on. So I think beyond that, Kobe, beyond looking out for what the signs could be, is for parents and even friends. And I've heard Father
yeah,
Tito say this earlier before I joined you guys. The key really is good social connections. The key really is good friendships, quality relationships, and even for the parents to the kids. Sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes there are parents out there who are just out there to train their kids to be the best whatever they want to be, and so they're so focused on
yeah,
academic performance, is that, and they kind of forget the parent child relationship, that you gotta be friends too, you gotta have fun, you gotta
yeah,
check how they are, how they yeah, exactly. I mean, I've heard this from kids. Sometimes they say, "I just wish my parent would say, hey, how was your day today?" As compared to saying, "Hey, how was your test today? What was your score?" That's a big difference, right? There's a big difference of, you tell your child what was your score, compared to, how are you today? What was the day like? And then if the kid says, well, it was not so great, nagtampuhan kami ng friend ko, oh, you want to talk about it? If they do, great. If they don't, they don't. At least your kids know that you're trying to make that emotional connection. So I think that's something that we're learning more and more now, that parenting educators also had a huge role in the emotional buildup of each child as they progress from elementary to high school to college. And I salute people like other Tito, and then there's the his friends in other foundations that are doing their best to learn these things, because it's one thing to try to help them on one extreme, wherein there's these problems, we need support, we need counseling, we need therapy. But there's another discussion of what we call prevention, where we're trying to understand what are the different factors that are triggering these episodes. Now maybe we can make the environment healthier, diba, for
opo.
everybody to get some of these. Yeah.
Wow. So,
Oh,
Tej, how do you maintain good mental health? How do you maintain it?
Well, I have a shortcut acronym for that now, so that it's easy to remember, and I love how I really was able to discover it, because it has something to do with my sporty background, and
Yeah,
literally it's game, game. Okay, so the first letter G, is gratitude. And you may have heard this before, about people talking about the power of gratitude and gratitude practices. But if you look it up, if you research a little bit, gratitude journaling or gratitude practice, you'll see that there have been so many major universities and psychologists and psychiatrists who have done studies on this, on the power of gratitude, and how it actually helps people to be happier, and more productive. And it's simple. You really basically just make an intentional practice of writing down three things you're grateful for every day. That's it. I actually, it's not just downstairs on my desk, but I have a gratitude journal wherein it's just fill in the blanks. What are you grateful for today? So one, two, three. And then when I learned this for the first time, it's around 2017. I heard it on a podcast and I tried it out. I kid you not. I woke up that morning. I wrote down, and I think I remember exactly what I wrote down. I'm grateful for my job, that I'm able to have a job on television where I can have an
Yeah.
impact on people's lives. I'm grateful for, literally, I said this. I'm grateful for my cup of coffee today, which I'm about to have a coffee to try to keep myself awake, because I love coffee in the morning. And then I said I'm grateful for my family and my kids who I can hug. And I wrote it down. I looked at it. I read it to myself like, wow, that feels great to just read it. It's like a happy. And imagine if you do it every day. Imagine if you do it consistently, and then you wanna, let's say you've done it for a month, and then you have a rough day. Open that notebook, read it again, and you realize there's so many things to be grateful for, because our lives have up and downs. There will always be downs, but if you focus more on the good, focus more on the things that you're grateful for, there's so much power and magic in that. So that's G, gratitude. Okay, and then the A, I've already discussed this earlier, acceptance. Diba? So the power of
Oh,
acceptance is so powerful. Diba? So that's the A. Yung M naman, it's not M for my Mang Tomas, which is my nickname.
that was so funny. It's like, fuck
I'm
the.
Tomas eh. I'm Thomas Jr. So that's why it's Mang Tomas. And in ANC, Father Tito, that's the nickname my producers gave me.
Mang
When
Tomas.
they call me Mang Tomas. Yeah. So even in the
Ah,
newsroom, has been my jersey number since my football
Wow.
retirement. Basketball,
Okay.
every basketball team I played in intramurals or whatnot, corporate leagues, whatnot, after college, it's been 77. So that's why it's Mang Tomas
Okay.
77. So anyway, so the M, not Mang Tomas, but M stands for meditation and mindfulness. I know this may sound, woohoo or, hipster for some people, but hey, guess what? Guess who meditates daily and consistently that has made them, great in everything they do? Actors, CEOs, athletes. LeBron James is one name that pop comes to mind. You may have heard of the app called Calm, CALM. And here in San Francisco, you drive around and you see billboards of tech companies and apps. I kid you not. One day, I saw the billboard for Calm, and the endorser was LeBron James. He had headphones on and his eyes were closed, and it's showing him meditating. So I'm like, if you think about it, if these extreme successful people who are doing great in their fields are meditating every day, maybe it's a cool thing to do. So anyway, I've actually tried it when I was a kid also, but what I tried back then with my mom was something very difficult to do. It was called Christian Zen meditation. So I don't advise that for beginners. It's very deep, very challenging.
grabe yung tawa mo, father.
Because it's a
He knows how
very
hard
it's a
that is.
very deep high
Mm.
it's a very deep zen.
Yan
Zen is
yun.
so, yeah. And then
Yep.
the
So
E
anyway,
thing is what? The E is,
so what I discovered recently is simple guided meditation.
yeah.
There are a lot of guided meditations on YouTube. There are apps for it. 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You just listen to the meditation guide. They'll talk you through what to visualize, nature walks, walk on the beach with nice music, whatnot. And if you do it consistently, the benefits of meditation are tremendous. From managing your mental wellness, your happiness, your productivity, even boosting immunity and all that. And dame. So meditation has been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, way before us.
Wow.
Jesus Christ used to meditate, di ba? Padre Tito, it's in the
Yeah, yeah.
Bible, right? So, hey, the Buddha used to
Always
meditate,
does
right?
that.
Exactly. So anyway, and a lot of people who are proactively helping people who suffer from mental health issues, they're preaching meditation now. Something they should try to do. It's free to try out, and it's helped a lot of people. I'll tell you this one thing that I tried to do this last year, 2020. I started a daily challenge of daily meditation in April after Easter. I did it for like 40 days straight because there was this meditation teacher I was following on Facebook. And I got into the habit of doing it daily talaga, every morning. And Lo and behold, I didn't realize that come June, July, Father Tito was the ABS-CBN congressional hearings.
Oh
Very,
yeah.
very stressful times for us as
Yep.
kapamilya.
Yep.
And here I am in San Francisco, literally physically apart from my friends and office mates in the Philippines and all that. And if you think about it, if there's anything that should have and could have triggered another major anxiety episode in me since my last bad one in college, that should have been it, but
Yeah.
it did. And I felt all the emotions. I was angry, I was sad, I cried, but I was grounded and in control. And when I look back, I said, you know what? I think one major credit to that was my meditation practice. That I was able to really take control of my emotions. I mean, you feel them, you still feel them, whether it's good or bad, but you're able to keep yourself in control. And I was very grounded. And I really am thankful that I was able to start meditating. And that was so key. So that's the M. So gratitude, acceptance, meditation. And the letter E is really simple. It's just an intention of wanting to evolve, always wanting to be a better person, to try to improve yourself. I mean, like physically, a lot of us now are doing this. We want to have better physique, so we're eating healthier, we're working out, diba? Especially you guys, you're athletes, you understand that how to invest in your
Yeah.
physical health, diba? But for most people, sometimes we just trudge along life like okay lang, wala lang, chill lang, I do whatever, I'll eat whatever,
Yeah.
I'll do whatever. But if we have that mindset of I want to evolve, I want to continue to be a better person tomorrow, I want to be a better person next week, I want to be a better friend to my friends, I want to be a better boyfriend or girlfriend to my other half, I want to be a better son to my parents. If you have that mindset that this is the direction where I'm going, if I'm going to point the direction of this ship and it's towards evolution of being a better person, wow, imagine the power that we can harness as a group, as a collective. And like you guys said, kanina, you're as influencers, if you're able to influence people with positive messages, messages that can help us evolve and be better to each other, wow, that's for me, it's mind blowing to think of the potential of what influencers can do if we start influencing people for positivity, for wellness and just being better for each other, rather than sometimes, social media is full of, it can be full of negativity and whatnot. But like I said, I think I'm not sure if it's Kobe who said this about, social media. Sometimes if you can just log off once in a while, I would love to do that if I could. But with my job as a journalist, I have to be on it daily. But if I was not, I would probably erase Instagram and Twitter once in a while and just log off for a whole weekend and just pretend like it's 1985. Just go out there and just enjoy the beach or whatever, and not have to think about Instagramming my food or Instagramming my sunset or whatever. Just go out, because I mean, there's been a lot of studies also that there's a lot of emotional stress brought about by social media stress, social media comparisons, whatnot. No, so if
Yeah.
you can have a social media diet, if you can be intentional about that, to know how to pace yourselves on, okay, maybe today for Instagram, maybe just 3 times a day, maybe just 15
Yeah.
minutes, rather than you're stuck there in the banyo for an hour, then you're still in the toilet for an hour, you can't walk because your feet are numb. That's happened to all of us, right?
Kaya nga
That's
tawan-tawa
yourself.
ako, Tej. Nangyari
Well,
na
you know
ganun.
what? We should have TJ back. We should have another
Yes,
episode.
Yes.
please.
Oh my gosh, please. And lastly, TJ, sorry, about the book. What book was that? The book of the radical acceptance? The
Yeah,
book.
it's a book that I encountered called Radical Acceptance.
Oh, radical.
Radical
Okay,
Acceptance, yeah. I
so
forgot the
yeah.
author, but if you Google it, you'll find it. So
Radical
amazing.
acceptance.
Ooh, grabe. Wow. Yeah, we really want you back again, TJ.
Okay, just one book.
sobrang, sobrang bitin
One
ng
last,
time.
one last, ano lang, one last,
Go ahead.
one
Yeah.
last comment lang about the book. If you're interested about finding a book that can you learn a lot about these things about mental wellness, look for the book The Lost Connections. It's written by a British author named Johann Hari. So Johann, of course, is
Johan
spelled with a
Hari.
J, John, and then Hari. So The
The
Lost
the
Connections,
lost
and he
connection.
boldly the lost connections, yeah, connections, yeah, like Globe has great connections. So thank you, Globe. Okay, so literally, Johan is a journalist who did a lot of investigative research throughout the world, and he's boldly saying that through the research he did, he found the 7 true causes of depression and anxiety. Okay, and he boldly says what you can do to get yourself well too. So it's very eye opening. It's very thought provoking. I loved it, and there's a lot of things that made so much sense for me that I've experienced. I went through, and like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. So, but at the gist of it, not to spoil the whole book, it's all about connections. The four of us here, we're connected through technology, but
Yeah.
the gist of it is it's connections to what humans are made for. You know, we weren't born to be put on an island. We weren't born to be stuck in a room. We were meant to have social connections. And back in the day, we were all born into tribes. Di ba? Our old
Yeah.
ancestors, they lived in tribes, literally, and they were good. They were happy. They were healthy because everybody supported everybody. There was a carpenter, there was a nurse, there was somebody who would cook, there was a hunter, and whatever. So, you know, everybody supported one another. So that if you know those your connections with humans, and then your connection with nature, environment, and with having an impact on other people's lives, those are so powerful. And when you're able to harness those, you realize what better of a person you can be to yourself and to those around you. So that was an amazing book that really solidified a lot of the things I've learned in my journey of trying to understand mental health.
Yeah.
Wow.
Galing, galing.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Really,
Thank you
DJ.
so
wow.
much, great TJ.
Now we
So
should
Salamat.
really have him
inspiring.
back. We should have PJ back, you
I
know.
think
Yeah.
I think this is the longest episode we've had with the
Yeah.
youth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And hindi ko
overtime.
nakita yung
It's fine.
oras dun and all.
I enjoyed the talk.
Yeah, I love it kasi. I
Uh,
love it so much. Sorry din,
Thank you.
guys. Sorry talaga.
No, no, Tej will have you back and then we'll talk more about game.
Anytime. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
more
please.
We can
about
do that.
game,
We
di
can
ba?
definitely
So,
do
Please.
that. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Ayan, they
And
want
thank
more. Ayan pala. Okay.
Yeah, we want more.
Well, TJ, thank you very
thank you
much.
so much,
Thank you
great
so
Thank
much,
TJ,
you.
DJ.
for
Thank
sharing
you.
all that with
Wonderful.
us today.
Thank you so much. Wow.
I
That
really
was
enjoyed.
We'll see you again. We'll see you again maybe before the month of mental health ends, di ba?
Sure. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, FYE. Thank you, Kumu. Thank you, Globe. Thank you, Father Tito. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you,
Thank
TJ.
you
No,
so much.
Thank you,
Salamat.
TJ.
See you guys. Thank you everyone for watching
Thank,
today.
Bye.
thank
See you
you.
next week.
Thank
see you
you
next week.
again,
See you soon,
everyone. Thank
Tigs.
you so much again for Globe for sponsoring this
Thank
stream.
you, Globe.
Maraming salamat talaga lahat. And yes, see you guys next week for another episode of We the Youth. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Globe. Yes,
Thank you,
and
Globe.
Tigs, we have to talk about the school.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
I've,
yes.
I've, I've talked to Lily Beth already. We're going to do something.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Okay,
Salamat.
okay, salamat
Bye,
guys.
guys.
See
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a blessed Sunday.